Right, I am not going to sit here and pretend that that was a bad night at the office. That was a humiliation. But more importantly, it is a window into where this club is right now. And Ruben Amorim's comments after the game, you can't move for them on socials. You can't move for people trying to analyse them. And I'm no different. I'm going to do the same thing myself. I'm going to have a look at what he said, what he might mean by the things that he said. And what I'm going to do in his video is go through all of the quotes, try and collate as many as I can, because he actually was interviewed a good few times from different outlets, and he did one with MUTV, did one with the broadcaster, did one as a press conference. Like there was so much that came out, and he repeated himself a couple of times, but he also said different things to different ones. So words matter. And I'll do so in the context of English not being his first language and give him a little bit of leeway in that sense. But I also think he said exactly what he means. And I think he was trying to tell us exactly where the team is, where he is, and potentially where the club is heading. So I'm going to ask you lot to get any questions that you've got in at the end. And we can talk about them again in tomorrow's morning walk video, because I don't know if there's going to be any transfer talk to talk about. So get any questions that you've got at the end, and I'll answer them tomorrow. I think we all enjoyed that this morning, didn't we? But tomorrow will be a football one. We can make it non-United if you want, but it will be a football one. Let's get into the first part. Everything went wrong. The players spoke loud. What he said was everything. The way we started the game, we were not even here. When everything is so important in our club, it is a problem in our club, we should do so much better. I felt my players spoke really loud about what they want. Now, that's not a throwaway line. That's the manager saying that the players effectively downed tools. Spoke really loud about what they want. I'm assuming that's a little bit of a mistranslation before he said it, like not translated from what he actually said. I think that's just him not being a native English speaker. But it sounds like he's trying to say that the players have revealed either their attitude, their commitment, or maybe even their opinion on him. But either way, it's a red flag. That's not, we lacked a little bit of sharpness. Maybe finishing could have been better. Grimsby fought hard. That was, my players do not want it. And when a manager starts telling you things like that, you either get a huge reaction from them out of the next game, or it's a resignation that, you have lost the dressing room completely. Or maybe you've even lost the confidence in yourself completely. The second one, he said something has to change, not 22 players again. That next quote, he says, I think this is a little bit the limit. Something has to change, but you're not going to change 22 players again. Now, that one's a quite heavy one. He's not talking about tactics there. He's talking bigger. He's talking culture, recruitment, ownership, standards. He's also talking potentially about himself. He's basically saying the structure of the football club is broken and I can't fix it by myself. And he's right. It shouldn't necessarily just be on the one man to fix all of that sort of stuff. United have already burned through managers and squads. You can't keep ripping it up again, time and time again. But to hear the manager come out and say this 3 games into the new season, after being embarrassed by Grimsby, it sounds like someone who knows he can't win the fight. It sounds like someone that's almost ready to go, anyway, that's me, I'm done. No, that's the one where you see the fan base splitting. Today, at least, anyway, I've seen the fan base really divided on that. Some people respecting the honesty. Some are people like, mate, you've been here almost a year and you're throwing the towel in. I'm a bit split on that one. To me, it sounded like, and I'm not the man for this job. That's worrying. The next segment, then, he said, we started the game without any intensity, and I think we all agree on that. We were completely lost. It's really clear for everybody what happened. That word, lost. When I wrote that down, I sort of underlined that one, because I think that's quite damning. That's not just about a bad half of football. That's about your preparation. You don't start a cup tie against Grimsby completely lost. What was going on in training? What was going on the coach ride there? What was going on in the changing room beforehand? How were we lost? How do they not understand what they're trying to do? How is whatever it is that you're asking them to do and whatever they're executing so far apart from one another? And United fans are picking up on that one. There's memes, there's tweets, United players walking around like they don't even know what the system is. if that's happening in August, where does it go when it starts to unravel? Because it shouldn't be unraveling. Like, we just come on the back of a really positive pre-season. Everybody that was around the squad was talking very positively about how it all went off in pre-season. So how do you have it unravel before the end of August? That's really worrying to me. That's really, really worrying to me. And then the next segment, I would like to say very smart things and very important things, but I have nothing to say. That goes back to the man that might be done, the man that might be broken. He's not even trying to spin it. He's not trying to protect the players. He's almost like, I ain't got any ideas left. Got nothing to say. It's worrying, that. What are the players meant to rally around? The optics of that one are brutal. There's some fans calling him a coward. Sitting through the shootout in the manner that he did. Not showing any passion, not looking active, or not wanting to fight on a touchline. And when he comes out afterwards and says he's got nothing to say, feels a little bit like waving a white flag. Then he talks about the penalty shootout. And I think I get what you're trying to say here. He says the penalty shootout was not important. The beginning of the game, during the game, that was what mattered. If we win the game, it's unfair on these guys. So today, football was fair. Congratulations to them. He's obviously just letting everyone know Grimsby deserved that win. And I totally agree. Grimsby deserved that win. They didn't scab a win out of us. They outplayed us. First half especially. Second half, they had something to protect, so they protected it. But in the first half, they stuck it on United. And they absolutely deserved to be 2-0 up in the game when they were 2-0 up in the game. So when he says the penalties don't matter, he's right. If United had gone through on the penalties, it wouldn't have been fair. You'd have took it as a United fan, absolutely. But, you know, that's him being pretty straight about it, I think. Anyway. I hope it's not him admitting defeat. Asked about the goalkeeper. He said it's not the goalkeeper, it's everything. Well, with respect, it's not the goalkeeper, it's everything. I get that one. And I think he's right. Look, Onana made mistakes last night. Let's not pretend he didn't. But the fact that it even got to the point where Onana could make the mistakes shows the entire structure is broken. We were so easy to play against. Grimsby were having an absolute field day getting in behind our defence. He's not wrong. But hearing it's everything. We have Burnley at weekend. Shouldn't be a hard game. It's at Old Trafford. It will be. Because Burnley watched that last night and have been rubbing their hands together saying, get me to Old Trafford now. I'll play them now on my own. And then you've got international break, which will be long. And then you've got Manchester City. We could go 0-5 at the start of this season. And you're already seeing the backlash from the fans. Amorim out. Formation don't work. Players don't care. Lowest point in decades. Where's your standards? He's getting slaughtered. The optics of him sitting down for the pens. The football was fair. The body language. It's not painting a good picture, to be honest. To wrap it up, he said the players don't want it. Something has to change, but it won't be the players. Which leaves him. That we lost from the start. That he has nothing to say. That football was fair and we deserve to lose. That it's not the keeper, it's everything. You put all of those quotes together. This isn't a throwaway line that he said that could be misinterpreted. All of those things are just reinforcing the thing that he said before it. So now the question is, what now? Does Amorim survive this? Does he get the time to fix this? Can he get them on the training ground? How are we going to see a 180-degree turn in performance from what we saw last night? That's what I want to know. Because that's his job. Forget your system. And I'm not saying change it. I'm just saying forget about the importance of the system. You got to find a way to win. You got to find a way to stick it on Burnley. And then the City game, well, that's at the Etihad, and it's not long away. How are we going to win that game? Or how are we going to not be embarrassed? Because if I look at what Grimsby did to us, I saw us lose 7-0 to Liverpool. You are looking at that again. This time at the Etihad. Let me know your thoughts. See you in a bit.